A little different. Okay, I made that bigger.
Right.
So this is the first time we've come on for a while on
Been
this
in
way.
the car doing a little
Been in the car.
drive-by shooting. I mean drive-by.
Drive what?
I was. I didn't mean shootings. I meant like video, but wrong.
Right.
Wrong.
And you already said the S word, so that the monetize, but that's fine.
I said an S word.
You said shooting.
Oh,
it don't matter. Just
okay.
You practicing now, so the rest of this week
so
you
I
can
can't
practice.
say the K.
You gotta talk. You gotta talk like you talking to a bunch of kindergartners.
We did
for
a drive-by
for YouTube.
I can't say do drive-by.
You can
like
say
drive-by taping,
you can
recording,
say,
drive-by
right.
recording.
But we didn't do that anyway. The first thing that you said,
I said drive-by shooting.
We didn't do that for you
shooting. Like
you talking about video?
See, I can't do shortcut words because they mean something else to somebody.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I'm
All right,
so sorry.
Yeah, now I understand what you're saying. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, so it's a lot going on. We got any moving stories while I'm setting up here? Anything else? You fall down the stairs or anything?
I got my lazy boy for a lazy girl. That
came in. Did you sit in it?
No, I haven't sat in
it. I sat in it and I almost fell asleep. So it's
you did?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh.
I figured I'd never ever sit in it ever.
It rocks, don't it?
Yes, it rocks.
I don't need it to rock, but
and I figure I'll never in my life ever sit in that chair.
I had one.
I had to do it while you was gone.
The one I ordered before had a remote control, and it does different. It does different.
What?
It moves differently to get you comfortable.
Oh,
like
this
in
one.
The back and
you didn't try that one out to see.
This one is comfortable as it is because it doesn't have all those little bells and whistles.
Right. But are you gonna have to put a pillow and all that stuff behind you?
I hope not.
Oh, okay.
Like my old one, but my old one because it wore out. That's probably why.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that they could have taken it apart. You could have kept it, but
take the back off.
But you didn't want it
Those
anyway.
movers, did they even know how to do that?
No, they didn't know.
I didn't think they were very young.
Yeah,
so I doubt they knew how to.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Our first story is
you watched The View
Trump.
Today.
Yeah. You did too.
I barely watched. It was background noise for me, so you caught a lot more of what they said.
Trump considered replacing Pence with Nikki Haley.
Yeah,
says Alyssa, and he said that
when he was in office.
No, before he ran, and then he also said it during. He said it. He don't like Pence. Well, we know that because they wanted to hang Mike Pence. So we know he never liked Mike Pence.
But at the very beginning, he didn't really know him to not like him. So
he didn't like him because he calls his wife mother, and he's stale.
But
and that don't fit Trump.
They really probably wanted to put him with Pence because Pence was a down to earth, very conservative.
Yeah.
We needed somebody because kind of like the opposite.
So what they gonna do now?
Trump. How's this lady though? I don't really know her.
Who?
The one that he's
you don't know Nikki Haley?
No.
Oh, you should know Nikki
What
Haley.
is her personality? Because I know the knucklehead.
She goes with whatever anybody.
In Arizona. What's her name?
Nikki
Haley.
No, she's not crazy like that.
Or Marjorie.
No, Marjorie Crazy Green.
Yes.
She's not like her, but she goes with whatever.
She's not like Sarah Palin, is she?
No, Sarah Palin's an idiot.
I know. But she was governor too.
She's more like whatever anybody says that she gonna say good. Whatever the people going for, she go for. She don't have nothing.
Why does he like her then?
Because he can tell her what to do. She's a yes person. She's a yes. But she's said something against him since then. So,
really?
Yeah, he wouldn't want her now.
This was before.
That's
what I'm thinking. Is this still what he feels?
No. This is before.
Oh, a lot of people are kind of jumping ship with supporting him like wholeheartedly.
Well, let's see what they said on The View. Let me see. You said they
to work for Trump. I want to ask you something.
The room just goes, oh.
Okay. One of your old co-workers, Mike Pompeo, remember him? Mm-hmm. Okay, he just wrote a memoir where he claims that when Trump was running for re-election in 2020, Jared and Ivanka had a plan to get rid of Vice President Mike Pence and replace him with Nikki Haley. Now, Haley denies this, but did you ever hear the idea being floated around in the White House?
Yes, and I've never shared this before, honestly, out of deference to Mike Pence, who I worked for several years. Would have been probably June of 2020. I was in the president's private dining room off of the Oval Office, and I popped Popped in to like read him the headlines, and he's on the phone with someone, I can't recall who, mutes it, which he often did, and said, hey, what do you think if we replaced Pence with Mike with Nikki Haley? And I
who said that?
Donald Trump
okay,
did, directly to me. And I just said, I paused and I said, sir, I think it would signal chaos and we should kind of stay the course with the ticket as we have it. But this is something he was actively considering that late on, and then once brought up.
So maybe it was the second time.
His second run for office.
Because he didn't want Mike Pence. He couldn't stand Mike Pence.
I mean, at the very beginning, he didn't know him to not stand him.
Later on, but they forced him to go with him.
And he wasn't much of a yes man that he wanted him to be. Remember, he was trying to get him to overturn the things that he really couldn't do.
I think he wanted Mayor Giuliani, remember?
That knucklehead would try to do it.
Yeah.
He is a very daring guy. He would, those two together, whoo.
So everybody's trying to wonder who is Trump going to have. It got to be a woman.
Maybe those two knuckleheads I just mentioned, Carrie Lake, and
they're too crazy.
That's who he wants. He wants somebody who's going to be rough,
but he can't have that. He got to have somebody that's like a Christian, nice lady.
You think he is going to pick this?
No, he's not. But the people who work with him tell him he got to have a nice Christian woman,
and he needs a whole new group of people because his daughter and her husband, they're not going to touch him with a 10-foot pole.
His daughter and her vampire husband.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and other than that, we both think Biden shouldn't run.
You know what happened when Mama said this morning about that he's dealing with. For me personally, I feel like he's still on that pride thing where just admit
that you took home documents.
You messed up.
Yeah, he's gonna do it.
And two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah,
and I don't know how people are trying to wiggle their way around what Trump did. What you and Trump did, both of y'all did the same thing.
Trump just did it bigger.
And he said no when they said, can we come get him? No.
Yeah.
I don't, what file?
What's the difference with robbing one house versus robbing 20 houses? You still robbed the house.
You still robbed the house. Exactly.
Now you let the
bringing
judge
the stuff back on your own merit.
Let the judge determine what the sentence is because you didn't rob 20 houses, but you still did wrong and you still should be held accountable for it.
Right. So it's a lot of things with Biden that I'm really getting uncomfortable with, even with the protection of his son.
Yeah, Hunter.
Who's been problems all from the beginning. What you should do even as a parent, I'm thinking it's hard. Step back and say, do your investigation, do what you need to get done. And
he could pardon him anyway. So what does it matter?
That's true.
So we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
But so the big thing was Mike Pence. Trump was going to get rid of Mike Pence and put Nikki Haley. Mike Pence, here's the thing on Mike Pence. If nothing else tells you other than the fact that they stormed the Capitol
He's not a politician.
to hang you,
yes.
They don't like you. Trumpsters don't like you.
I think they really don't like him because the fact that he didn't do what he needed to do,
right?
To work with that. I
don't think they like
whole
him
denial thing. I don't know because there wasn't really much that he did to not like him. I think Trump made them not like him because of this whole denial, the whole thing with him not winning,
right,
and that he felt as a vice president there was things that he could push.
But she just said he wanted to replace him even before that. See, he wanted to get rid of him long before that, before January 6th.
Oh, I don't know.
So he never liked him.
Okay.
He's too Christian.
Maybe he felt guilty, and Pence made him feel guilty.
Well, you can't,
as a Christian,
you can't talk about.
He made him feel uncomfortable.
You can't talk about grabbing women's private parts and all that stuff.
Not around Pence.
When you got him mother and all this, calling his wife mother.
Very conservative. So somebody like Trump wouldn't hang with nobody like Pence.
Nah, so that's funny. All right, so that's the end of them. Speaking of crazy Republicans, DeSantis administration rejects proposed AP African American Studies class in Florida.
Now, what's going on here? Because
I told you he wants to shut down anything.
What is this? What is he going to read it?
The administration of the Republican Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida is blocking a new advanced placement course for high school students on African American studies. God forbid if they learn about anything other than George Washington Carver and the peanut.
Okay.
In a January 12th letter to College Board, the nonprofit organization that oversees AP coursework, the Florida Department of Education's Office of Articulation said the course is inexplicably contrary to Florida law and significantly lacks educational value. So, a course about Black people lacks educational value.
So what you trying to say?
So in other words, it doesn't. I got that refrigerator open,
Close
and that
the door,
thing is.
Are you putting the thing in?
That's
fine. It's just dingling.
The thing is that anything that enhances Black people, DeSantis is always saying no.
What is he saying about it? What's his reason for this?
He just said it. It lacks educational value.
Why does he say that? Somebody
he doesn't understand.
Really question him on
he
that.
doesn't understand the purpose of anybody learning anything additional about African American studies.
Now here,
other than George Washington Carver being the peanut.
Now let me go on the other side. Let me play devil's advocate with people that probably think the way he does. I'm just assuming because it could be totally not what he really feels. Yeah. I'm going by what I've heard other old coworkers say, and even Black coworkers.
Why are you whispering?
I remember one Black coworker.
Why she whispering? People crack me when they go, let me tell you something. Yeah. We all here. You can go ahead. Go ahead.
When I was in Chicago and I was working, we were talking about Black history because we had a Black mayor at the time. We had a Black mayor, the Chicago mayor of Washington, that passed away. And one of the ladies worked with him, was part of his group. And we were talking about the Black history and knowing stuff. And one of the Black ladies there said, I really don't like reading about a lot of our Black history with slavery and stuff. I said, why? I said, that's educational. You're learning. She said, it saddens me. It makes me angry and I don't want to hear about it. I knew it happened, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to read about it.
Well,
I don't want to learn about it.
You proving a point to have it.
I'm playing devil.
No, you proving more to have it.
No, I'm saying for her as one reason. Then I remember talking to a white person. They don't like revisiting their messiness. They don't want anything in the books. Like even Whoopi was saying they're even taking the N-word out.
Well, Black people own slaves too, so what's the big deal?
But anyway, that's not taught.
What I'm saying is,
I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate. That's one reason why he's like,
I'm saying
that serves no purpose.
The stuff you're saying is actually showing why you should have it, because all they taught is about slavery. African American studies doesn't talk about slavery. It talks about the contributions that Black people have had in this country.
Exactly.
So that's actually helping what you're saying. They're not just, all they talk about now is slavery. They don't talk about all the contributions that Black people have made in the country.
That's why I would love to hear him go further on what does he mean it lacks educational value.
Right.
Because is he talking about, is he doing a blanket statement, or is he talking about the slavery and?
But that's already
all
taught.
of that. No, I'm just saying what.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate.
No.
What is he saying this for?
I'm saying your devil's advocate is not working because what
I
you're
didn't
saying.
say it had to work, but you got to see the other side and where this stupid man is coming from.
Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is your other side is proving why we need it. You keep talking about slavery. That's all they talk about is slavery.
I guess you're not understanding the point I'm making. I'm not saying what you're saying is right or wrong. I'm trying to get in the head.
You can't unless you say what he's.
It's like people trying to get in the head of Trump.
All right, let me show you devil's advocate.
I feel like it's
They're
giving reason why it's not important.
Let me show you what you should have said for devil's advocate.
Go ahead. What would you think?
Not the slavery thing.
Well, that's no. I didn't say the slavery thing.
I know.
No. Kim, I'm not talking about what he's saying like that. I just use that as an example of one Black girl didn't want to hear anything about history when it comes to that. Now, this is totally different.
This is devil's advocate. What is the purpose of showing other contributions that Black people have made in this country if you're not going to show all the contributions that Asian people have made in the country, all the contributions Italian people have made in the country? If you're going to say Black people, then you can say everybody. We might as well do a course on everybody and say what specific contributions have they made. I can see that being the devil's advocate. Like saying if we do it for the African Americans, we might as well have an Asian American studies, a Latino American studies, whatever. That's the devil's advocate for that.
Well, that's one. That's one way to look at it. Yeah. There's different ways to look at this. That's why I'm saying that it would be nice to know when he says the Florida law and significantly lacks educational value. What does he mean by lacking? What is it that's lacking educational value to teach this African American studies? Is this a specific study?
He thinks all you need to learn is reading, writing, and arithmetic.
That's what he said.
Anything outside of that, religion, all of that other stuff, he don't like no extra. Just go to school and learn how to write, learn how to read, and that's it.
Maybe
all this extra
he
stuff
is coming from what you're saying.
That's what I said. That's playing devil's advocate, like trying to get in his
So
head.
let's just go that way.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
No, because what makes up a human being is more than just math. Okay, in other words, when
like
you learn
if he
science,
wants to do more than just African American, like you're saying, he wants to do Asian, do it all. Don't just do African American.
What I'm saying is that it depends on, okay, what's her name that's on The View?
Alyssa.
The one that used to work for Trump? Mm-hmm. Okay, she had a good point. If you're a Republican, you shouldn't want it to be the government or the state saying this is how we feel. You should leave it up to more of the general local area school board. Because what if you go to an area that's mostly predominantly Latino, and you want to add a Latin American studies? What's wrong with that? If you in an area that's predominantly Latino, and most of your kids, 90% of your kids is Latino, and you want to teach more about just the 3 people they teach in school that was, Mexican or whatever, there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of history. It's part of history, the history program. So the same thing.
It's not like it's made up stories.
Right, if it's real. So I feel like wherever you are, I agree with her. As a Republican, you should be thinking like him. Less big government, more local. What if you go to a community that's Christian? Mostly Christian. 90% of the kids in the school is Christian. What's wrong with somebody saying, for part of history, we'll talk about Jesus and talk about that history of the Bible? If 90% of the kids is Christian,
how do you determine that as far as a private school versus a public?
Well, that's different. We're talking about public schools.
So public schools, you probably won't get away with that.
You should be able to.
Because you're going to have some parents who are not Christians saying, well, you need to teach about Islam.
Right.
You need to teach about Buddhist.
Well, then what's the difference with that and keep putting nativity scenes up then? That's the same argument that people have with nativity scenes.
But what if he's the type of person that says, if we're going to do one, we got to do them all. And I don't want to do them all. I don't want to even do one. Let's just keep it generic. Everybody can teach on their own at home, African American studies.
Well, then he
Latin
shouldn't have
American
any
studies.
problems with any nativity scene in Florida coming down then. Because in my opinion, don't pick and choose the things that you want to fight for and then the things that you don't care about.
Exactly.
When it's Christian, he cares.
Right.
When it's anything else, no. But Christian, you care. Right. Why you care about Christian? Then there shouldn't.
He's one.
Exactly. So you shouldn't. If I'm Buddhist? I don't want a nativity scene
right.
at the local what you call it?
That's right.
What is it? City council place. That's what I'm saying. So I think it should be more local,
Okay. So that's a good one. I would really like to see what he meant by this contrary to Florida law.
Ma. Now what you doing, Ma?
I'm okay.
You crashing bottles?
I won't do no more.
Okay.
My mother wait till we get on our show live, and then that's when she wants to crush
bottles,
crack peanuts.
Usually she's on standby to give a comment or two, but today, for some reason,
she want to do everything in the world that makes noise.
I ain't even paying attention. I'm surprised you're listening. She's background noise to me.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was cleaning rocks. Is that bothering you guys today? I'm sorry.
I was cracking some walnuts.
Sorry about that. I was breaking up some tin cans in the kitchen. Is that bothering you guys right now?
Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right.
But going back to what you said earlier, I was just concerned with what is this contrary to Florida law?
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what is this Florida law being specific to this type of stuff.
I just feel like it should be on the local level. And you know what the makeup and the diversity of your children are. If you go to a school let's say it's Florida. Let's say they're in an area that's predominantly black. What's wrong with that?
Well, I know
African American studies. It should be in all schools, to be honest. But let's go back
to that topic we talked about with that Satanist group.
Yeah.
That's an after-school program. Now, they don't go against the way with the curriculum being taught.
Right.
Like he's saying math, spelling, whatever. After school, they can say your African American studies. Yeah. Your Latin American. You can learn Spanish or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Well, that Satan class was an after school thing.
I think if anything, they should add, if they don't want to do a whole African American studies, they definitely need to have the teachers introduce more than George Washington Carver. Because that's all we learned about is George Washington or Harriet Tubman. The same 4 or 5 black people. That's all we know about. But you know what?
It's so funny. Even in some of the black, I'm not speaking for all black schools back in the day with my mom because it was segregated. But my mom didn't really have knowledge of the 3 women in that movie that were involved in the whole what is it?
You know what you're talking about.
You know what? Hidden Figures. And those 3 black women. Yeah. There are a lot of people back in that day with them, did not even have a clue that there were black women included with NASA. The whole and NASA. So African American studies is even educating.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody.
That's what I'm saying. So rather than so here let's go. Let's meet halfway then. Okay. You know how I'm always a person. Let's do halfway. Instead of calling it African American studies, why don't you just change the curriculum so that you introduce more African Americans and other people, Latino people, Asian people.
Which are all Americans.
All Americans in your history program.
Exactly.
And not the same 4
George
people.
Washington and
George Washington Carver. And then Latino people, Chavez. That's it. That's all we know about Latino people. We don't know anything else. Asian Americans.
So it's all maybe, about America.
So if you don't want to have a specific study, revamp your history program so that we're not always teaching the same 4 black people all the time.
Yes.
I'll meet you halfway, DeSantis, you buckethead. All right. But God forbid if somebody try to take the nativity scene out of City Hall. Look, he'll go crazy.
And then give their reason for it. They may not believe in it.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Jamaica under scrutiny for fraud scandal that hit Usain Bolt.
What happened here?
An investigation into a private investment firm in Jamaica where $12.7 million belonging to sprinter Usain Bolt was gone missing has sparked criticism over how the government has handled the case.
Oh my goodness.
Not only that, the banking system. Have you seen these? Have you seen the videos of the people running down there to get their money?
No.
They can't get their money. The banks is like, we don't have it. We don't have it.
Oh no, what happened?
And people don't realize here, even in America, you're only insured up to a certain amount of money. I think $250,000 or something. Anything after that, you're not insured.
Can we go back to It's a Wonderful Life? Before his bank was about to close.
Oh, yeah. The people came down there.
People wanted their money.
And he couldn't give them all.
He couldn't give them all their money. He said, what can I give you to hold you over?
Yep.
Until the bank, so the bank won't close.
Yep.
I want my $5.25.
He said, well, Mr. Howard, can we give you $2, maybe half? Can you go with half? I have $5.20, and that's what I want. And then the other lady came up. I could just take $1. That'll get us through the week. Oh, God bless you.
Bless you. But you're right.
We know it's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
So San Juan, Puerto Rico, an investigation into a private investment firm in Jamaica where $12.7 million belonging to sprinter Usain Bolt is missing has sparked criticism over the government's handling of the case, with one top official forced to resign amid one of the largest fraud scandals to hit the Caribbean islands.
Oh my!
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
I don't know because I say it both ways. Caribbean.
Everton McFarlane, who until recently was executive director of that's a Jamaican name, Everton McFarlane, who until recently was executive director of Jamaica's Financial Services Commission, went on leave Friday and will step down January 31st, officials said.
Okay.
A top official with Bank of Jamaica would take his place as the investigation continues into Stocks and Securities Limited, a firm based in the capital of Kingston. Weren't we just there?
No.
Were we in Kingston? Where did we go?
No, we were. I can't remember. I don't think
Where
we were
did we
in
go?
Kingston.
Where did we go?
It wasn't Ocho Rios. It was the other one.
I thought it was Kingston.
Mm-mm.
You
I
sure?
think of it. Yeah. Go ahead.
There would be full transparency. Finance Minister Nigel Clark said late Thursday. That's a Jamaican name too, Nigel. Adding that he was disgusted by what the investigation into the alleged fraud has revealed so far. No stone will be left unturned in unearthing Montego Bay. That's where he went. No stone will be left unturned in unearthing exactly how funds were allegedly stolen. Who benefited from such theft and who organized and collaborated in this, he said. Sure. Authorities have not said exactly how much money overall is missing. But Usain Bolt said the money in his account had dwindled from nearly $12.8 million to $12,000.
Oh my goodness. What did they do with his money?
And just think, it's not him, it's everybody. He's just a famous person. It's all of those people. This one lady was stuck at the bank. They were showing her on YouTube, and she was yelling. She had her camera, and she said, let everyone know what's going down here in Jamaica. They're taking our money. I'm a mother with kids, and I have no money. I have no money. She was yelling.
What are they doing with the money?
I don't know.
They're embezzling it.
I don't know.
Oh my, because Jamaica has had some issues with other things, even with their government.
Yep.
And we don't know if there's checks and balances with these kind of situations to watch over, big brother watching kind of thing. But I'm glad that Usain Bolt is part of it because it's bringing light to the situation. By him being famous, oh my, get that man his millions back.
Thank you.
Oh, they're going to get whoever's doing this.
All right,
okay.
So that's what Usain Bolt.
Wow.
So that's the latest. And I keep telling people, going back with this, with prepping. Don't put all your money in your bank and don't put it all in one bank. And you should always have some cash because when you can't get to when the bank or if the bank is closed, we've been to some of those ATM machines and it was out of money.
Yes.
And just remember, if something goes down, just like the tissue thing, everybody gonna run to the cash station
and just buy it all off the shelf.
Everybody gonna go to the cash station. They're gonna go to the bank, and you will be left there with nothing. So you should always have cash, small bills, don't have big bills, small bills that you can do, do things with. People panic, and that's what we keep telling. I don't know how many times I keep telling people to prep. Prep not only food, prep your emergency situation, your water. You should have a water filter system. Everything. What is wrong with everybody?
You can even teach prepping if you can with situations like what's going on in California. If
you got California, or if you got to stay in your home, like Kevin Costner
or
did.
You got to leave.
If you got to stay in, because the road is messed up, because a mudslide, you can't even get to food.
Lord.
If you had your pantry full, you wouldn't worry about it.
That's true.
So just stuff like that.
Okay.
Basic prepping. I'm not even talking about prepping the more advanced prepping. I'm talking about basic
like
prepping.
Like a little trailer.
Yes.
To drive away, like what's his name, the comedian.
So hopefully he didn't have all his money in the Jamaican bank.
Well, they saying 12 million. Oh, you saying maybe he had other?
He should have millions other places.
I hope so.
Not just in Jamaica.
But hopefully they'll look into this because he's shedding light to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the other people are too. It's all on YouTube and stuff. Okay. Young Thug. YSL defendant allegedly hands drugs to Young Thug inside the courtroom.
Are you kidding me? This should be Donkey of the Day. Who does this? Right in a courtroom?
The co-defendant was then found with more drugs after a search conducted by the deputies.
You don't think they're not going to search you if you get caught? You knucklehead.
There are new allegations for Young Thug and a fellow Young Slime Life defendant after authorities said they were caught distributing drugs in a hand-to-hand trade in the middle of the Fulton County courtroom, court records show. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, has been accused of being the ringleader of the YSL gang, which has a heavy presence in Georgia, according to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Records allege the action happened after the court was called to order Thursday following the continuation of jury selection. Okay. So they trying to get people to be on this jury. It's hard. Okay. YSL RICO trial. Okay. Co-defendant Khalif Adams, who is currently serving a life sentence, that's without parole for murder. That's why he don't have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Walked up to the Atlanta rapper and made the drug exchange, according to the court documents and surveillance video. Surveillance video from the courtroom shows Adams getting up from his seat and walking toward Young Thug and his lawyer in the middle of the courtroom.
Wait a minute, is he out though? Because I thought he was.
They in the courtroom.
No, I thought this guy was for life. Is he just there for?
He's still on trial for this too.
Oh, okay.
Adams then extends his right hand towards Williams, where he willingly accepts what he is being given and places his hands under the table to conceal the contraband, the court alleges. Take a look at the exchange on the courtroom camera below.
This is truly donkey of the day.
Be courteous, be gracious, be polite. And if there's any dysfunction, disruption with your girlfriend, fiance, whatever, any abuse, that's it. So, you call me, or your mama call me, it's on record. It's a record. You understand that? Respect. Not women or ex-wives. Put some more on.
You saw what happened? Was it?
Be courteous, be gracious. Be courteous, be gracious, be polite. And if there's any dysfunction, disruption with your girlfriend, fiance, whatever, any abuse, that's it. So, you call me, or your mama call me, it's on record. It's a record. You understand that? Respect. Not women or ex-wives.
She handed it to him.
Put some more on.
You're in a courtroom. You might as well sit there and get high or smoke something. Really? In a courtroom? I don't even understand that.
He walked right in and gave it to him.
And he took it.
According to the motion filed Thursday, Young Thug was given the Percocet. Y'all can tell I don't do drugs.
Where you at?
Percocet.
Oh, okay, up there. Okay.
That's what they call Percocet.
Oh.
From Adams, a sheriff's office deputy who saw the exchange walked up to Williams and demanded that he hand over the drugs.
Yeah.
Williams complied and gave up the contraband to the deputy. The motion said. It wasn't like he didn't take it.
We saw him even give it to him.
Deputies inside the courtroom then attempted to search Adams despite his resistance. The search led to the discovery of more drugs on Adams, including Percocet, marijuana, tobacco, and other drugs wrapped in plastic and food seasonings in order to mask the order of the marijuana and the court documents stated.
Oh my goodness.
Adams was then taken to Grady Hospital after it appeared, you move the table, that he had ingested other drugs he previously had on him in an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes within the courtroom. The court was delayed because of the alleged drug exchange that was described in court documents as illegal acts of possession and distribution, respectively, or contraband inside the Fulton County Courthouse. Jury selection for the YSL trial is expected to take 5 weeks, as the court is deciding the 12 jurors and alternates who could see months for a trial that could last. First of all, they made it sound like Young Thug handed it over right away. No, he didn't. That man came up, the sheriff that came up and took it right away. It wasn't like he was like, what's this? What you doing? What you trying to get me? He didn't do that. He took it.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, why did he take it?
I would have been like, if you trying to slide me something, I don't know nothing.
I would have sat back.
Or if he would have put it in my hand, I would have went just like that. Like, I don't have nothing to do with this.
Right.
Don't come at me.
Make it known.
Don't ask me nothing.
Right.
So that tells you that they on drugs. And they probably, that's the thing about it is, when people are addicted to drugs, that show you they do anything.
Now, I have never seen this happen, though, not in open court like this. Because cameras are all everywhere.
Everywhere.
People are really slick and sly.
And
now.
you don't think nobody would notice you walking up to Young Thug and shaking his hand?
Because people usually, it's tricks ways of getting things through. And if they've been doing that in prisons a long time, why would you think you're not going to be seen in a courtroom?
You know they arrested a pigeon? recently
because he was carrying some drugs.
The pigeon had a backpack, and he was.
This is for real.
This is for real. A pigeon
Why
had.
did they arrest the pigeon though?
Well, they compensated him.
Okay. Because the pigeon don't know.
Let me show you. And I think that's probably a good way to get in. Whoever was thinking of that was smart. Until somebody finally looked and said, "Why they always going over to that pigeon that keep coming over here?"
And the pigeon carrying something.
Pigeon drugs.
Wow.
Pigeon caught with backpack of drugs.
And why did they have a backpack on them? They could have had something underneath.
Well, you got to put the drugs in the pit, see? And they made a color of him, kind of, where you can't tell.
Why would they not put him under his chest where you can't see?
They don't carry like that. They carry on their back. Pigeons, they used to use pigeons to deliver mail.
I know they did.
Yeah.
Who did this?
They used to deliver pigeons. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
He got arrested.
He got arrested.
That's sad. He don't know what he doing.
That's his court document right there, probably. Let's see. A total of custom officials in Kuwait have apprehended a pigeon carrying drugs in a miniature backpack. A total of 178 pills were found in the fabric pocket attached to his back. The bird was caught near the customs building in, I don't know how to say that, close to the border with Iraq.
This is another country.
Right, but that's smart though.
We may start doing this. Who thinks of that? Oh my God. Ma, you hear this?
What is that?
A pigeon, he got arrested.
A pigeon. They used the pigeon to carry some drugs. A little pack back on his back and had him fly away.
They got him. They caught him.
Aww.
When you go by, you can look at the picture.
Gonna kill him?
No, they ain't gonna kill him.
Because he don't
Look,
know.
Mom.
Somebody using him.
That's the pigeon right there.
On his back. That's drugs on his back.
He got caught. See? There you go. They open the backpack and there's the drugs.
Back in the day, people used to use pigeons.
He take it where he's supposed to.
Oh.
I told you.
Are you sure she can't be seen?
No, she good.
Okay.
She rolling past. You can't see her. Okay, so that was that.
Wow. Okay.
So that was the latest.
That's
with,
a donkey
Young
of
Thug.
the day for sure.
But no, here's your donkey of the day. Well, according to Charlemagne.
Okay.
Charlemagne the God on I just call him Charlemagne. It's stupid to call him the God. It's Charlemagne.
But he had sense to do little G God.
Yeah. Well, Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club has donkey of the day every day.
Okay.
And today he had this guy, Brian Walsh, pleads not guilty to murder. Everything we know about this case. Prosecutors allege that Massachusetts man dismembered his wife, Anna, after using their son's iPad to search for the best ways to get rid of a body.
Yeah.
Brian, you heard his mom?
He used a saw and everything to saw her body up.
Brian Walsh, the 47-year-old
like
Massachusetts man charged with murder in connection with the disappearance of his 39-year-old wife, Anna Walsh, appeared in court on Wednesday for his arraignment. Walsh pleaded not guilty in Quincy District Court and was ordered held without bail. His next court appearance is scheduled for February 9th. Here's everything we know about the case. Anna Walsh was reported missing by her employer, Washington, D.C.-based real estate company Tisman Spire, on January 4th, where she didn't show up to work. Mm-hmm. Brian Walsh told the police he hadn't seen Anna since the early morning of January 1st, when she allegedly left their home in Massachusetts, about 20 miles southeast of Boston, in a ride-and-sharing vehicle to go to Logan International Airport for a flight to D.C. Mm-hmm. The couple also has a home in Washington, and the mother of the three often commutes there from Massachusetts during the week for work. Mother of three. But investigators found no indication that she took the ride or boarded the flight. There has been no activity on her credit or debit cards, per the Associated Press, and prosecutors said that Wednesday that Anna's phone was in the area of the house.
The Cohasset house?
Yes, on New Year's Eve until 3:14 a.m. on January 2nd when it was turned off. Ooh. He bought $455 in cleaning supplies. Last week,
to clean up that blood.
Last week, Brian Walsh was charged with misleading investigators after surveillance footage showed him buying $450 worth of cleaning supplies at a Home Depot on January 2nd, the day after his wife was last seen.
Oh, wow.
Walsh did not tell police he had been to the home improvement store where he bought mops, buckets, tarps, tape, and other items, prosecutors said. He did tell police he had been to a supermarket and a pharmacy, but there was no evidence he had been to either store. Security footage. Why do these people not realize they can go and look at security footage?
I know. And security footage is always showing.
Security footage later obtained. CBS Boston appeared to show Brian Walsh inside a juice bar in Massachusetts on the same day. Police also found a broken knife and blood in the basement of the couple's home.
Wow.
Neighbors saw him putting bags in different people's garbage.
Wow.
Oh, no.
According to the Boston, a hacksaw and a blood-covered rug were found at a transfer station in Peabody, Mass., about 20 miles from their home. Brian Walsh was arrested on January 8th and was held on a $500,000 bond on the charge of misleading investigators in the Anna Walsh disappearance before he was charged with her murder on Tuesday.
Wow.
In court Wednesday, prosecutors Lynn Beelan said investigators believe Brian Walsh dismembered his wife and disposed of her remains after using their son's iPad to Google the best ways to get rid of a body. He also searched how long before a body starts to smell, how to stop a body from decomposing, how to embalm a body, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to, how long for someone to be missing to inherit. That's the reason right there.
When people are Googling this kind of stuff, I'm thinking
they don't realize that, and they think because they delete their searches, it's still on your computer.
And the fact is, you look at all this Googling it for information, and then a family member is gone.
What does formaldehyde do? How long does DNA last? Can identification be made on partial remains? The best ways to dispose a body? How to clean blood from a wooden floor? What happens when you put body parts in ammonia?
Oh, Lord.
Hacksaw, best tool to dismember. Can you be charged with murder without a body?
Oh, no. He Googled all of this.
In case he got caught, he wanted to know if there's no body, could he be charged?
Right, they can't charge him for somebody that's not around.
Look in the garbage and find bodies in the garbage.
Beelan also said investigators discovered 10 trash bags filled with items including towels, rags, tape, gloves, cleaning agents, Anna Walsh's COVID-19 vaccination card, a hacksaw, and a hatchet. Some of the items included stains consistent with blood, she said. The DNA evidence linked to Anna Walsh was found on a pair of slippers, clothes, and what is that? Tyvek. Disposable suit. Oh, that thing he wore.
Okay.
Prosecutors have not publicly identified a motive. Well, he told you the motive.
What?
In his search. Inherit. Identify a motive for the alleged killing.
Get money for her?
But on December 27th, there was another internet search on a query that drew interest. What's the best state to divorce? What'd you say, Ma?
He told her in 2014 he's going to kill her and her friend.
My mother said he told her in 2014 he was going to kill her and her friend.
So he told that to her face.
Why my friend got to go too?
Girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, she has now did she leave him or something?
No, she didn't leave him.
Was she having an affair?
We don't know.
She didn't leave him.
Oh.
Brian and Anna Walsh have 3 sons between the ages of 2 and 6. 2 of Anna's friends, Natasha Sky and Pamela, that they are worried that the boys could be placed in foster care and are pleading that the Massachusetts Department of Children and Family allow them to take custody of the children. Yeah, I would too. I would ask, if I'm a friend, I would say, can we keep the kids?
Yeah.
Our focus right now is the children, Sky said. If the children can stay together, that is what we are putting our energy into. And if I was her friend, I would adopt the kids.
That's sad.
If she don't have any family members.
Their mom's life is taken. Dad did it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This man.
Now, this is what the defense attorney says. Brian Walsh remained mostly silent during Wednesday's arraignment, shaking his head as his alleged internet searches were read out loud in court. His attorney, Tracy Minor, released a statement blasting what she called leaks from the prosecution ahead of appearance in court. In my experience, whereas here, the prosecution leaked so-called evidence to the press before they provided to me. Their case isn't that strong, Minor said in the statement. It is easy to charge a crime and even easier to say a person committed that crime. It is much more difficult thing to prove it, which we will see if the prosecution can do it.
So it's so sad because a lot of times the defense lawyers is like, almost like, nah, can you prove it? Can you prove it? Because we're all sitting there going, he did it. But if you can't prove he did it, that person walks free.
And here we go.
Or a reasonable doubt.
Yep. Missing.
It is. That's the law.
That's it.
That's the law.
You gotta prove it.
They couldn't prove that O.J. Simpson killed.
Yeah.
I said the word K.
Yeah.
Took his wife out and her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Missing white woman syndrome. The case has garnered national media attention, reviewing criticism from those who say similar cases involving missing people of color receive far less coverage. That's true. Mm-hmm. How newsworthy are you? Joan Venash, whatever her name is, asked in an opt for Boston Globe. As the blanket media coverage about the disappearance of Anna Walsh, a 39-year-old mother of 3, illustrates yet again, if you are young, white, and pretty, and live in a place where horrific crime is not supposed to take place, you are very newsworthy. Mm-hmm. And she blonde, too, so... Mm-hmm. Missing white woman syndrome, as critics call it, was on full display during the 2021 search for Gabby Petito. Remember that young girl? Mm-hmm. But that's true, because you don't really hear about these cases unless it's somebody like her. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we still trying to figure out what's going on with the cases we were talking about earlier.
The one, the friends beat
the friends in Jamaica, Shamika.
The one in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico,
mm-hmm,
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with that?
I know.
See?
And that hit the news, from hopefully, thank goodness, pushing from the Facebook people and other social media.
So that's it. That's the latest stuff that's going on.
Wow.
You have anything else to add?
Just the fact that he Googled this on his son's iPad.
And think that nobody was going to find out.
All of this information. And then his wife is missing.
And all the stuff he said, his wife is missing.
You would have did better. If you had to be stupid about getting rid of somebody, you would have done better just paying somebody to do it.
Well, that crisscross. Remember, John?
You do my crime, I do yours.
What is it you watch?
But that means I got to do it.
What's the director? Alfred Hitchcock. On Strangers on a Train.
But I don't want to do any kind of crime. I let you do it.
No, I'm saying if you're going to be like that, do what he did. Crisscross.
But why would you crisscross? I would say pay somebody just to do it.
No, because if you pay that person, then you gotta off them. No, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it yourself. No, don't do it at all. What about just not killing people?
If you're gonna go cuckoo about it,
you need to do it yourself.
Some people pay, like, who was the girl that black lady, or who was it, the wife that had somebody paid somebody to do her husband?
You should do it yourself. You shouldn't bring anybody else in, because other people will end up framing you.
If you do it yourself, you may be messy.
Well, if you like him, an idiot. Why you got to do it that way? Why would you kill her that way and all that? We could have just gave her something.
Because Peterson, what's his name? Peterson, the police officer, he's in jail for 3 wives. If you think about this too, you got 1 wife gone, 2 wife gone.
Can you imagine?
3 wife gone. Some suspicious.
Only God knows. But can you imagine how many people, even back in the day, have killed their husband or wife?
Or pay somebody to do it.
No, killed their husband or wife by poisoning them or something, and nobody found out. Knew.
They probably used something,
or
they
slowly
just died
did
a normal death.
Yeah, or slowly did it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So
slowly poisoning them
or something. Yeah. How many people?
That's true.
How many people been on boat accidents where the person don't come back or they fall over? How many people? Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So
that's true. That's
you
true.
know. But anyway, it's just wrong. And if you don't answer down here on heaven, you're gonna answer to God. So he sees everything you're doing. So you're not going to get away with it. Did you Google that? You bonehead? I don't see anywhere in these Google searches that you talked about whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Yes, something was just not
Why
right.
Why you didn't Google that, Brian?
He wasn't even thinking. He probably don't even believe
Does God come at you if you kill somebody? He should have Googled that.
Wow.
That's dummy.
That's true.
So that's why you sitting there now.
That those kids lost 2 parents.
Yes.
They're losing 2 parents.
Well, one is an idiot, so it's good you got rid of him.
Oh.
and then your mom.
Well, it's unlike the gentleman here in the one of the suburbs here who took out his whole family.
Yeah, crazy.
So that's even more sad. I'm glad he didn't touch these kids.
Right.
But
all right. That was it, y'all. So we back. Again, you didn't have time. You wasn't here today. I want to still go over with her off the camera.
We'll see how that works.
Let me see.
Bringing somebody else in.
I want to go off the camera and practice with you on how to do that.
We just have to practice. That's the only thing we can do. But
you wasn't here today, so I wasn't able to do it. So y'all see our African mask behind. None of them look voodoo-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll turn the other way tomorrow and see the picture, I guess.
Yeah. That use that as a backdrop.
But none of them look voodoo. Like, I don't like when people have scary looking African masks. All these look nice.
I try to get them where their faces are not like
voodoo.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah. These just regular African masks. So
from our
all right. He kind of looks scary though up there, but all right, that's it. Anything else?
Nope.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to our new channel, Woods Relax Sleep Sounds, all one word, and always believe.
Always believe.
And that was another Woods Report. See y'all later.